Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining our webinar today. We have a very knowledge packed session where we will be discussing about our new tool ACE. You will also hear from our customers later in this webinar and about what they think about ACE as an end-to-end sales performance platform. But before we start the actual session, I have a few pointers for the audience. One, if you have any questions during the session, please do put it up on the questions tab. It is towards the right side corner of your screen, and our team will take it up right then and there. And we will also put up a couple of polls during the session. Please do respond to them. We would love to hear from you. All right, so with that, let me invite my colleague Rupesh Kumar Singh to set the context of the webinar. Over to you, Rupesh.
Hi everyone. Hi Kartika. Thank you so much for having me. And so let me give a quick background about myself. I work at LeadSquared as regional sales manager SMB, and we at SMB work with good amount of small and medium businesses and startups. And if you want to understand more that what we do, so basically our objective is to provide a perfect solution to them and streamline the complete sales and marketing process that we have. So that's what we do. And coming back to the topic, so today we are going to talk about a new feature add-on that we have, that is LeadSquared Ace. And so let me give you an example. It will give you clarity that what is LeadSquared Ace. Being a sales manager, I set multiple targets for my sales rep. I have 20, 22 odd people in my team, and I set targets with respect to number of demos they are doing, the revenue that they are bringing. So there are multiple KRAs on which we set these targets, and then I track it weekly, quarterly, monthly, and then yearly. So that's how we do, and then we find that what are the gaps these sales reps have, and then we create a different plan for every sales rep so that we can enable them. So to start with, I'll give you a quick example. We all have played a game, dart game. So in that dart, we have to hit the dart to the target, right? So let me ask you three powerful questions. For example, you are playing this dart game, and I'll 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 ask you that out of 10 times, how many times you will hit the dart exactly at the center? Might be somebody will say that I can hit three times, four times, or in fact 10 out of 10 times. Might be this is possible. And now let me ask you second most powerful question: how many times you will hit the target when you are standing opposite to your goal board that you have? Again, might be couple of people can do it. Very few people can do it. Now let me ask you the most important question: how many times you will hit the target when you don't have a target, you don't have a goal board? Which means 80% of the sales rep, they don't have the goal board, and that's the reason they're not able to hit the target. So we are here to we are going to make it very very interactive. We are going to help you that how exactly with the help of LeadSquared Ace you can map the targets, and each and every rep that you have and the managers that you have, you will be having complete visibility of about your targets, and versus achievement, that how much of that you have achieved. And that's how we are doing it at LeadSquare also. So I have with me Mr. Abhishek. He is the product head. So I'll ask Kritika if Abhishek can join the floor. Yeah, hi Abhishek. So over to you, Abhishek. I believe Abhishek will give a very interactive session about LeadSquared Ace, and this is definitely going to help. So over to you, Abhishek. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much, Rupesh. I think this was a very interesting trailer kind of a sort that you just talked about, and gave a very interesting analogy of like you should have the targets, and a very interesting analogy of dart games, right? I think that example was a very right tone to be set for our today's webinar. Thank you so much, and that talks about all of your experience through all these years as a manager in the sales team, right, and working with SMB teams as well. So thanks a lot for that introduction, right? So without further ado, let me just quickly share my screen and talk about ACE. So I believe my screen is visible, guys. Please give a thumbs up and a big cheers for Rupesh, where he talked about the entire uh, journey of our webinar in a nutshell, right? So please feel free to drop your questions here and drop your thoughts if you have any. We have our moderators who would be able to address those questions right then. So having said that, I believe my screen is visible. So I see a lot of thumbs up. So yes, I'll go ahead with that. Perfect. Great. So this is ACE. So we call it ACE for obvious reasons. We want you to ACE your sales numbers, revenues, and your all the targets that you would set, right? So I'll just quickly set the agenda of today's conversation. So we'll be having a quick introduction of what ACE is, how do you do the configurations. We'll not just walk you through the presentations, but we'll actually show you the live demo of the product as well, right? And then what we have is, once this is quickly done, what we have is we have three panelists who actually are both LeadSquared and ACE customers, and they have a lot of interesting things to share about. So we have a panel discussions, which is moderated by folks from our side, and they'll be asking all the kind of questions that will help us understand how their experience have been, or how our customers' experience have been while using LeadSquared ACE, right? So moving on. So, folks who use LeadSquared, they would know, and folks who in general know about LeadSquared. We, as a company, as a product, we don't like go and say or sell that we are selling a CRM, right? We rather talk about sales efficiency. Everything that we build around and inside LeadSquared is about improving sales efficiency, improving your delta, right? So on those lines itself, we have at all these junctions, we have at a capture junction, we have a lot of tools which helps you reduce your leads, reduce your lead leakages or zero lead leakages, right? And make sure that every lead that comes into your system is acted upon. On the similar line, we at a process level, we have this entire automation tool which helps you build your own workflow. Again, then it improves your sales efficiency, right? Then at an interact pace where you interact with the system to understand which leads to work on, what activity to be done at this point of time, we have a lot of tools like Marvin, Converse, and Carter to help you do those interactions, right? Be it with the system, be it with the lead, or be it with the team members, right? So we have these tools and we improve your efficiency, sales efficiency at that point of time as well. And obviously we have a lot of analytics tool as well. Some are already there and some are in the works. But then again, obviously what you can't measure, you can't improve. That's the fundamental, right? So there as well, we essentially have a lot of things where you could improve your sales efficiency. But then we believe that, or we realize that there is one more place where we could actually improve the sales efficiency, and that's basically the last mile, right? At the user place, like where the actual end user would do the job, right? I mean, with their mindset, their objectives and all of those things. So how do we improve the efficiency at an end user level? All of these things that we talked about are external things, system and process driven. But then obviously if the end user who's actually doing these sales, right, if there could be some efficiency that could be improved there, then we should definitely leave no stone unturned there, right? So that's where ACE comes into picture, and ACE is something that helps you improve your sales efficiency at the last mile. And as Rupesh gave a very interesting example, if you don't have the targets, if you don't have that dart, and you don't know how to aim and where to aim, right, then you probably would not be able to even reach your targets. And that's where essentially ACE comes into picture. So it helps you set the right kind of objective across your business function, then be it a business of 5 sales reps or 500 sales reps, right? So that doesn't matter. ACE works for any kind of scale of the business and any vertical, right? So that's where ACE comes into picture. Now, with that particular thing in mind, ACE is definitely not just limited to targets as achievements. ACE aims to build a lot of other tools which essentially helps improve sales efficiency. But at this point of time, we have with us goals versus achievements as a tool which you could actually use, because we believe that that's the first step to set the tone inside your organization and set the entire objectives for different folks. And that's basically what we'll talk about, right? So before we jump ahead, let me actually now quickly talk about, before I actually give you the demo, right, I would like to set the tone and help you understand what kind of demo you would be looking at. And I would like to also give you an example, right? So what you see at this point of time is a typical, and I believe that the folks who have joined this call are primarily from an small to medium scale businesses, right? And obviously you would all of you are here for one single reason, that you would want to grow your business, right? You would want to increase your top of the funnel, you would want to increase your middle of the funnel, and you would also want to increase your bottom of the funnel, right? So this is I'm assuming that that essentially is the entire objective of folks who have joined us today, right? So with that particular thing and with that particular context, right, we've taken an example, a typical example, right, in any sales organization, right? Obviously the product is not limited to just this, but this is just for an example, right? So take an example where there's an organization which is primarily driven by sales, right? So obviously they would have at the top of the funnel, they would have these metrics that they would track, right, which is basically new lead generations and outbound phone calls, right? That essentially will give them the amount of leads that have generated and the amount of phone calls that have gone to those leads, so that they can they could become from a cold lead to they could become a hot lead. I So I believe I'm available, audible now. Yes, yes, Vishal. I believe I've joined the call again. So there must have been some problem with the browser, right? Uh, am I audible now? Yes, perfect. Thank you, Vishal. Thank you, Rupesh. Yes, great. So as I was talking, right, so I was saying that there's a top of the funnel goal or top of the funnel objective that any business would track, right? And once that top of the funnel is set, then we talk about the middle of the funnel, where all these leads who have turned from cold to hot, right, you would want to essentially convert them. And the whole idea would be that you give a demo to them and then you essentially convert them, right, by understanding their use cases or by understanding their problems and figuring out how your product solves that problem, right? And then obviously once those leads are converted, then your whole set of importance becomes all about being improving your bottom of the funnel, right, which is basically your pipeline revenue and your revenue that is generated, right? So that's fundamentally what a typical sales funnel or any organization which is driven by sales would look like, right? So with that particular context, right, what I would like to show you is how ACE goals essentially would help you. And right after this slide, we will actually jump onto the demo to showcase to you how all of these things are done. So what I did is I actually, if you go back to the previous slide, what we see is that we had these 6 objectives, which essentially are categorized in different segments of the funnel, right? What we have done is we have taken these objectives and turned them into goals, right? Why? I mean, because obviously, as Rupesh also mentioned before the call, right, that unless you have these targets, unless you have these goals, right, then it becomes very difficult to track them and also work hard towards that, right? So that's the whole idea. So what we've done is we have converted these these metrics into objectives or goals or targets, right? And we have divided that into 3 different teams. What you see is that the new lead generation probably would be a marketing team's role, right? An outbound phone call probably would be an sales development team's role, right? And then the demos completed, leads converted, pipeline revenue and revenue would probably be an inside sales or a sales team's role, right? So that's essentially what we have done. And if you can see here at this point of time, that the marketing team has a monthly goal of 2000 leads to be generated. And then that is further broken down into individual folks, because maybe Virat, Rohit, Harman and Mitali are working on different kinds of marketing, right? Maybe Virat is working from a social media campaign perspective and Rohit is working from an offline campaign perspective, right? And that's essentially just an idea to give you an idea how you could actually break down the goals, which are monthly, to your respective team members, right? And then further, the same SDR team essentially now has a goal of doing 200 calls daily at least, right? And then basically that's essentially what they would try to do, and that is further broken down. And then obviously your demos completed, leads converted is further broken down into 100 weekly demo completed and 40 weekly leads converted, right? And then which essentially now translates into your pipeline revenue target, which is basically 12 lakh revenue, and your revenue generated target, which is again your 9 lakh revenue monthly, right? So that's essentially what it is. Now, all of this is nothing but the master plan created by the CEO at this point of time, which essentially is trying to say that I want to generate 1 CR worth of revenue in the financial year 2021 and 2022, right? That's fundamentally what the CEO is looking at. And what he has done is he has broken down, he has taken a back course and essentially broken down his 1 CR goal into monthly revenue goals, and further those monthly revenue goals into the actual effort-based metrics, which are nothing but your leads converted, demo completed, outbound phone calls, and new lead generation, right? So this is the entire master plan that essentially is created by Rahul Shastri, who's the CEO, on paper. And this exactly is what you would be able to replicate in our product. And that essentially is what I'm going to show you now, right? So let me just quickly share my screen and show you the product, and we'll quickly jump on how do we actually create these things, right? So please let me know when you are able to see my screen where I'll be talking about and sharing the product. I believe my screen is visible. Yes, perfect. Thank you. So having said that, right, so now what I've done is you can see that I've created multiple profiles, and now what I've done is I've logged in into Rahul Shastri's profile, right? And the goals that I had created under for Rahul Shastri, these are the actual goals that you see at this point of time, right? And you see that there's a yearly revenue goal. And if I open this, then there are these 4 people who are contributing towards the yearly revenue goal, right? Then what you see is that obviously it's a small team, and Rahul Shastri has 12 folks who are reporting to them. And I'll show you the organization hierarchy as well to give you a brief idea about how it would essentially look. So as you can see that Rahul Shastri is the CEO, and he has these people reporting to him, and some of them are marketing, some of them are sales development representatives, and some of them are basically your inside sales folks, right? That's essentially what the idea is. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back to Rahul Shastri to just show you all the different goals. So outbound phone call is, new lead generators is primarily a marketing team goals. And this is where you see all the contributions here. And as we were talking about, right, this is a monthly goal. So at any given point of time, what Rahul Shastri can do is he can actually track this goal month over month, right? So as you can see that, I mean, obviously we are in August and you'll not be able to see any progress, but as and when the progress happens for August, September month, right, you will be able to very easily see how your progress is month over month, right? That's fundamentally what the idea is. Now, having said that, I'll just quickly jump onto the pipeline revenue goal, just to give you an example, right? Now, this again is something that is a very similar kind of goal. And this is again a monthly goal, right? I'll take an example of a weekly goal so that you guys get a fair idea about what it is, right? So this is a weekly goal, which is basically nothing but leads converted, right? So, and I'll show you the example which we were talking about. So I believe you will be able to see this example now. So in this example that we are talking about, we were actually saying that your demos completed and your leads converted are a weekly goal, right? And that essentially is what we have done here. So we have created leads converted as a weekly goal, and you can track this week over week, right? So if I go to the previous week, you will be able to see the progress, right? I mean, obviously this is just from a representational perspective, but the whole idea is that you'll be able to see these goals and achievements week over week and month over month, right? So with that particular thing in mind, right, I would like to now quickly jump onto the configuration aspect of this particular thing, right? It's not just that how, like obviously this is the end state of the product, right? How do you configure this? I mean, how easy is it to configure? How difficult is it to configure, right? That's something that I would like to show you, because that's where the entire strong aspect of the product comes out, right? Because you set a goal today, but you would want to change that very easily, right? And a lot of other products that are there in the market would not allow you to change things very easily. So it's not just about how you can look at it very easily, how you can measure things easily, but it is also about how you can create and change things easily, right? So I'll just show you the edit flow first, where I'll show you how you can actually at any given point of time just change the goals, right? So what I've done is I've opened a daily goal, which is an outbound phone call goal, and I'll just click on edit. And at any given point of time, I can change the dates as well. I can just add more cycles if I would want to. Currently, there are 92 cycles, but I can add more, right? So I'll just show you how would I do that. And I'll just say that I would want to add few more cycles, right? And you would see that now there are 100 cycles, just for an example perspective. Now, what I can actually do is I can actually now go at any given point of time, I can just jump onto any cycles and change the numbers, right? So what I'll do at this point of time is I'll just change this to 55 rather than 50, right? And I mean, I can add any people at any given point of time, and I can remove them as well. And obviously now there are less amount of users, but if you have 10, 20, 30 odd users, we allow you to import these details from an Excel sheet as well, right? So it allows you to actually import the entire goals and the users in a one single Excel, and bingo, you just create it. So you don't have to use the interface as well, right? You could actually have your Excel sheet where you would have created this on paper and imported that. So that is again the flexibility that we allow, right? So I'll just quickly publish this, save changes, and this is done. So now what you would see is that under outbound phone call activity, now you would see that the goals are 55. It's not 50 anymore, right? That's essentially what the idea is. Now what I'll do is I'll actually show you how do you configure these goals as well, right? That again is very important piece. So we have decoupled the entire configuration piece. If you have a sales op representative who is very well aware about LeadSquared, then you can hand over the entire configuration piece to them. Or if you yourself as a CEO, CXO, or a manager are very well aware about LeadSquared and can do the configuration on your own, you can do that as well. But in this case, let me just quickly jump onto the admin's profile to actually show you how an admin will configure any goal, right? So, and all of this is very important to showcase you the capability of the product, because we don't want our customers to run towards our CSM team or anyone else to just change certain small things, right? It could be done by you at any given point of time. So two major aspects of the product is one, that you're able to track all of these things automatically, but we are also empowering you to configure these things on your own, right? These are the two major advantages and two major strong aspects of this particular product from a sales performance management tool standpoint, right? So with that particular thing, let me just quickly create a outbound phone call goal or a call goal, right? So before I create a goal, obviously it's a metric, right? So you would want to track the metric. And in LeadSquared, you have the concept of activities, opportunities, leads, and all of those things as entity, right? So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just select outbound phone call as an option, right? And so if you see here, I'll just choose outbound phone call, and it's basically activity on lead, right? So I've done that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say select aggregation, and the aggregation is going to be count, right? And at this point of time, it doesn't, I'll just choose activity ID, right? So I'll just choose the activity ID, and then I'll just choose the owner, because owner will give me who's the, against whom I'm supposed to track the achievement, right? And date will give me when am I supposed to basically measure this, or which field will give me the dates of this particular activity. Once this is done, all I have to do is I have to add some conditions. So at least one thing that I would like to add as a condition is that the leads page should be interested at least, right? So you could not just call randomly any lead, right? So you would have to call the leads that are basically in the opportunity stage. So that is one condition that I would like to add. The second condition that I would like to add is basically your call status, right? So the status of the call should be answered, right? That's another condition. And the third and the final condition that I would like to add is the duration of the call, right? Obviously, I would want you to not hang up on the call within 30 seconds, right? So I would want you to add, have a conversation at least for a minute, right? So I'll just say 60 seconds, and then this is done. And obviously, all of these conditions are supposed to be matched. Or I could also say that, okay, the first condition is supposed to be matched. That's one. But then 2 or 3 could be fine, right? So that's not a problem, because the whole idea is that 2 or 3 if you answer, only then there will be a 60-minute call duration or stuff like that, right? So that's something that you could do. So I'll just update this and you're done. So the flexibility of allowing you to set any kind of conditions is also what what this tool is capable of, right? So then I'll just quickly save this, and in a very nice, easy to read manner, it shows you what exactly your rule is, right? So you see that I would track achievement when outbound phone call activity on lead is created or updated, and I would count the prospect activity of that particular field, and I will define user achievement using the owner field, and I would define achievement date using the created on field, and these are my conditions, right? That's the beauty of this particular system, that it talks the language that you would understand, even though it's a technical system, right, altogether. So that's also, I'll just publish this. And what I'm supposed to do is, this metric is configured. Now I can use this metric at any given point of time to essentially just create my goal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly jump onto Rahul Shastri's account, and I'm just going to quickly create a goal, right? So I'll select Rahul Shastri, and I'm going to create an outbound phone call goal, right? So it will be a daily goal. I'll just select the rule book that we just created, which is basically your call goal outbound. So I created this in front of you right now. You would have seen this. So this is exactly the goal that I've created. And then I'm going to say that this is a daily goal. And just for simplicity, I'll just create this for a month. So it starts from 1st July till 31st July. And then I'll just select few people who are part of my marketing team, right? So, my sales development team. So I'll just pick sales development folks. So I'm selecting this, and I'm going to select another sales development representative, because these are the folks who are going to do the call. And I'm going to say that you're at least supposed to do 50 calls a day, right? So I'll choose this 50, 50, and 50, right? And obviously, I mean, I could say that you are supposed to do 50 calls for this entire month, right? So I don't have to actually, if you see right now, I'm not supposed to actually jump and create goals for each of these cycles, right? You don't have to do that. You can just quickly say, copy this distribution to all cycles, right? And then voila, all your goals actually now have 200, 200, 200, which is basically 50, 50, 50. So that's the magic. For 30 days, you have created a goal in a matter of 30 seconds, right? So that's essentially what it is. I'm going to publish this goal now, and done, right? So you have your outbound phone call goal. And now, as and when these people start doing their work, you will be able to see that, right? So that essentially what the idea is, and that essentially is how you would see your goals and your achievements on a day-to-day basis if you want, on a week-to-week basis if you want, on a month-over-month basis if you want, right? And any kind of goal. So outbound phone call was just an example to showcase, right? So I hope this was an insightful demo to all of you, right? Before I actually we jump to the next segment, I would like to quickly share a couple of more details about where our product is and how, like, what do we have here. So just 1 second. So So before we jump ahead, I would also like to talk about some of our customers and beta partners who actually are using our product at this point of time, right? So these are all the customers that we have worked with. And it's not just limited to that. We have worked with a lot more customers, but this is just from an example perspective. So yeah, that's it. Now, what I would like to do is, before we jump onto the next segment and we bring in few more interesting things about this particular webinar, I would like to showcase to all of you all this demo in a very nutshell, 90-second video, right? So it should play now. Hello, am I audible? Okay, I believe, and I hope the video was visible to everyone, and I hope you all were able to see and hear the video. Okay, perfect. So I see a lot of people have said yes and given a thumbs up. So on that note, I would like to actually move on to the next segment. Kartika, can we please start with the next segment? Kartika, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi Abhishek.
Hi. Okay, we have Cassius here. Yes, please go ahead, Cassius.
Very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cassius. I lead the SMB team here in LeadSquared. Today we have our guest from three different business domains, and I would like to give a quick introduction about their business and about their profile. We have Mr. Yogesh Pandey from Capitalist Yard. Capitalist Yard is a real estate service provider dealing in providing the right set of properties. Their company helps their customers in providing the right set of knowledge, the right set of guidance, in choosing the right set of properties, what they are basically looking for. We also have with us Vidhanshu Rai from Philo. Philo have created their IoT device who are helping farmers to make the right set of decisions towards their production of farming. How they are actually helping is giving them the analysis in regards to the live weather or the weather deduction, the quality of soil what they are right now procuring, or probably the fertilizer managements what those sort of analytics are able to help the farmers to make the right set of decisions. Also, we have Mr. Animesh Rati from Kodyang. He's the lead analyst, and Kodyang mainly focuses in developing hands-on experiences for a lot of students in terms of achieving their goals. Their sessions are more interactive and more student-centric rather than a traditional teacher-centric model. So, if you look at right now, we have three different segments of businesses right now today, and the panelists are from these different segments of businesses today. And we are going to talk about how ACE have actually helped across these three different segments. Basically, real estate, we have agri-tech, we have edtech as well. So we have our moderators with us today, Shri and as well as Abhishek with us, sorry, Siddharth with us. So I would like to Shri to take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cassius, for the quick, brief introduction about our guest. So, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining the ACE webinar. And I hope the demo was insightful for everyone. So, I'll just give a quick, brief introduction about myself. So, I'm Shri. I work as a senior associate for SMB market. So quickly, I'll first start off with Animesh. So Animesh, as Kodyang is into edtech, and edtech is mostly into high velocity sales, right?
Right.
I would like to understand that how do you think LeadSquared ACE is fitting into the picture, and how do you find it more benefit? And the same.
Yeah. So coming to LeadSquared, like basically the CRM, everything is sales driven, right? So and in sales, we need everything. Let it be leads, let it be the revenue, let it be the conversion. Everything is into LeadSquare, and adding to LeadSquare, we have got this goal system, which has given us a more flexibility, or I would say automation towards the tracking of the target achievement that a particular agent or a team leader or a manager is doing in terms of how much target they're achieving. So just I would say ki, the motivation for the sales team, or basically the sales team, is the target achievement that they're doing, the achievement they're doing, and the rest of the motivation is how much achievement they have to do going forward, or how much achievement is less. So LeadSquare has done something great for us in terms of some like collating everything in one place. We have the CRM, our vendor is LeadSquare itself a CRM, and then adding on this gold part is just like having everything in one place, and that's really a great thing. Usually we used to track these all things in an Excel sheet or a Google sheet, which was purely manual work and used to take 30-40 minutes or even 1 hour of our manual time. So yeah, so it has been a really great experience.
Correct. So Animesh, one more point over here. So as you explained, like, so with respect to ACE right now, there is no manual effort you're having. You're doing it everything on Excel sheet. I mean,
Right.
previously you were doing it on Excel sheet. Right now it's on LeadSquared.
Mhm.
Now, how do you think it's going to have further business impact? Like, how do you think this is going to help your sales team further, and you're going to increase the efficiency at that point? If you could just help us to understand at that front.
So basically, how it can impact is, first of all, we can just recognize the person who is performing really well. That would be a really great motivation for that team or even that person, and even for other people as well. Okay, this person got recognized, so that will be a motivation. Secondly, we can just figure out or sort out the things with the person who is not performing so well, and we can give him guidance, proper guidance to him, so that he can perform really well going forward.
Correct.
And yeah, so basically recognition is a major part, which gives motivation to the team basically.
Correct. So you are able to map the entire end-to-end process.
Right.
Thank you so much, Animesh, for giving your expert advice with respect to edtech industry. Right. Next, I would like to move to Mr. Yogesh. So, Yogesh, as you are into real estate, right? Post-pandemic, the entire real estate segment has a very different methodology with respect to sales. So, I would like to understand that how LeadSquared ACE product is helping you track the entire efficiency. If you could just give us more insight about it.
Thank you, Sri, for giving me this opportunity to speak about it.
Right.
So, I have been using LeadSquare very recently, maybe couple of months. I have started working with LeadSquare. Okay, and before that, I tried with multiple CRMs. I have used. We had developed our own CRM a time back. My IT team has developed his own CRM, and even we used couple of more companies CRM. And then I shifted myself to the LeadSquare, and the part of the is like the goals. What you have done was the major reason why I shifted towards LeadSquare.
Okay.
So the goals has benefited us in a very different way. Like we have completely B2C business, where we have a daily basis new customer, new product, because we deal almost 500 plus product only in Bangalore. Okay, and different product, different lead on a new leads on a daily basis. So tracking was a very big challenge for us earlier, and the second part was like we had to assign the work on a daily basis to our employees. So it was not sure what they have to do when they come to office. So from the time I started using this goal, my employees are well known what they have to do once they come to the office. So the job of the manager has reduced a lot after we started using LeadSquare and this goal method. So the daily tracking has become so easy. They know what they have to do full day. So we have set up the goals like per day goals for the employees, what they have to do from morning to evening, per week goals and per month goals.
Understood.
Okay. And the best part in this is that we can customize as per our requirement at any point of time. So that was one of the best feature under this which we got. So that has reduced a lot of work from our side. And even for the employees also, it is very easy, because when they are leaving the office, they know what percentage of the work they have done as per their per day goals.
Correct. So they are able to, they are able to do it more efficiently. They don't have to be dependent on their managers or team leads to understand what they need to do throughout the day. Right? That is what you are able to do it and achieve it. Great. Thank you so much, Yogesh, for giving an insightful about the real estate segment. So moving to Sudhanshu. So Sudhanshu,
sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to highlight one point, right? Since Yogesh mentioned such a sweet feedback that he is using LeadSquared because of ACE. So I think Yogesh, we really appreciate that feedback of yours, right? And we're really feeling great about the fact that it is such a good tool for you to use, right? And we really hope that such feedback comes from across customers, across verticals, right? So yeah, just wanted to give my feedback on that point. So great, good to know that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. So that just to move next towards Sudhanshu, right? So Sudhanshu, your business is into agri-tech, correct? And agri-tech segment has a very different concept with respect to achieving targets. And I just want to understand, like, what is the major challenge do you face in order to track the productivity of your sales team? If you could just highlight on that point.
Yeah. So I mean, see, in agri-tech, I mean, most of I mean, in most of the cases where sales team even comes to office and you are able to talk to them. But in agri-tech, all of our sales teams are working from remote, from some different and in totally different part of country. So connecting with them, understanding what they have done and what they are doing on day-to-day basis was really difficult. So initially, when we were very small, we were able to do it. But when we moved to around 30, 40 sales guys, it was really difficult to understand them, to work with them, what they have been doing. And I mean, it was, I mean, we were not knowing what is going on this part of country and what is going on into this district one, unless we used to have a meeting every month and see the results. So that's where, I mean, I realized like we really need a software which I mean, it was not scalable at all, like you managing all this team manual and talking to them in person on daily or weekly basis. So that's where we realized, I mean, we need a software that will help us. And then we encountered, I mean, the LeadSquared. And the day we started using LeadSquared, it's been quite smooth in terms of even the sales team, like Yogesh mentioned, now they know what they need to do, and I don't have to get involved into the interaction on daily basis. I just set goal, okay, I mean, this week or this next 10 days, these many leads you have to add, these many leads you have to move to next stage, and these many offline visit to farmer in person visit you have to do, and these many. So I mean, and good thing is that we can have different goal and customize it. So and then each person's, like you said, I mean, they again feel energized, like I mean, they have done something. I mean, they whatever it has been assigned, they have done something. So that is really good. I mean, good progress. I mean, even we started using recently, but I see a very good impact of it.
Correct. Thank you so much, Sudhanshu. Just one last question to every panelist over here, right? Like, why do you guys think that ACE is a one-stop solution for all the platforms? Like everybody who is using the CRM, why ACE is one-stop platform? Like, why is it required? So I would like to start with Animesh, please.
ACE is something like, just because LeadSquare is our CRM and it's having every details, like how many leads a particular person is having, how much conversion they are doing, how much revenue they are bringing. So that thing, like it is automatically integrated with our CRM. ACE is automatically integrated with CRM, which is just the thing we want, rather than downloading that whole data in our Excel sheet and putting in Google Sheets, anything, and then matching put that targets and the achievement and tracking on Google Sheets. ACE is the best thing that just got collated with our CRM. So yeah, that's how it helped us.
Correct. Yogesh, your thoughts on the same?
Yeah, so definitely it reduces the work a lot. The manager works, the team lead works are reduces a lot after using the goals. So we don't have to generate the entire reports to come to know whether the employee is doing all his tasks given to him, all the assigned work are done on time. So here you don't have to generate the lead, you don't have to do any other part. If you ask us, we have even added this with our HR policies. So the increment process and the promotional things of the employee, we have made it based on the completion of the goals. So if an employee is completing, apart from the revenue what they generate, because real estate revenues are very uncertain.
Correct.
But what we believe is somebody has to do a regular job to get the promotion, to get the increment in his package. So they have to complete the goals on a daily basis and weekly basis. So the tracking of the employees has become very easy.
Correct. This is a very nice point that you have related this to the promotion of an individual. Like if they are able to complete the target, they're going to get a good increment. This is actually a very nice thing which you are doing. Thank you so much.
And even the employees are aware of this, that goals are, if I am completing my goals on a regular basis, I might be getting the increment, I might be getting the promotions.
That is
so for
really
them
nice.
it's like completely transparent.
Correct. Yes,
so now
yes.
it is not depend on the, if your manager is happy, then you will get the promotion.
Right. Indeed, it creates a transparency in between both the employer and the employee. That's really a nice thing. So, Danshu, what are your thoughts on the same?
Yeah, I mean, like earlier, I mean, managing the leads and managing the sales process was one part of it, but after adding the AS where I could actually assign goal and I mean distribute the goal. So it is totally, I mean, it has given I think a totally different usage to the lead squad. I would say, I mean, it has like whatever like we were used to do. I mean, we have to assign each and every person and do all the manual work in the office and then talk. I mean, assign. I mean, asking these guys to enter the lead and going backwards. So instead, it is one step forward. I mean, where from the top down you are assigning the goals and then people are able to see it. So it has really changed the way actually what I have been using the lead squad till now.
Indeed.
It's
Thank you
made
so
it
much,
kind of
everyone.
like opposite way the way I have been using it.
Right, Sudhanshu. Thank you so much for giving inputs. Siddharth, just wanted to know about your closing thoughts with respect to the entire panel discussion.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Shri. First of all, thanks, Animesh, Yogesh, Sudhanshu, for joining. It was really, really insightful, right? And we're really thankful that you took out time from your busy schedules, right? And I think the feedback is unanimous, Shri, right? That ACE definitely helps at least connect that last mile, right? That we were still figuring out at LeadSquared. And as we started off with this line, right? There's no achieving a target unless you set it, right? So I think we've had a good start there, right? We are helping organizations define clear metrics, right, for their sales teams, right, in order to actually monitor, right, and thereby improve the overall efficiency, right? And it's also, I think, clear from the panel discussion that this works across industry verticals, right? Even if you're from real estate, even if you're from agri-tech or a typical tech, right, it works for everyone. So just one closing thought on this one is that let's ace it, right? It's a cliched line that we've been using, but I think let's actually ace it. And thank you again, all of you, for joining, and looking forward to more connects.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, everyone. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Thank
much
you,
for
Mohit.
Thank
joining.
you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Siddharth. Thank you.
Yes. So thank you. First of all, let me just thank the customers. Thank you so much for coming and giving us your review of ACE. It really warms our heart. And thank you so much to all the audience here. You guys were wonderful. We had a lot of interaction coming in that really encourages us. Thank you for that. And also to the whole Lead Squared team, the SMB team, and the product team for setting this up. It was a wonderful session. I definitely got a proper walkthrough of ACE and Shri. Thank you for asking the right questions to our customers and making this a successful event. So, yeah, with that, I think we can conclude the session. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And if anyone has any more questions, please do reach out to us. We are always ready to take it up. You can reach out to us through email or even just, book a demo. So, yeah, before I close, I have one last poll to put up. It's just a poll about if you're interested in ACE. So do respond to it, and after that, we can close the session. All right. Yes. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us once again. And yeah, have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.